We're going to come on to the Grosvenor Friday night game. I'm a little bit disappointed to bring you what I'm about to say, because as a lot of you know, I'm a big fan of the Grosvenor. That's where I started playing poker, and I always champion the Grosvenor's cause. However, last Friday saw what can only be described as a bit of a debacle at the Grosvenor. We all know their Friday night game is guaranteed at £2,000 if they get 50 runners, £3,000 if they get 110, and £4,000 if they get 140. The upper two are not, they're not really getting anywhere near that 110 to 140. But every week since they've had this guarantee, they have had between 50 and 75, 80 runners. So it's pretty obvious to them that they are going to get that amount of runners every week. So we come to Friday last week. Admittedly, I come in at 8:15, which is late. I get there's 8 people at the desk waiting to pay in. By the time I've been stood around for 5 minutes, there's another 5 people. So we've got 13 people waiting to join in the tournament. And they've only set 4 tables at 10 max a table, which is 40 runners. Now, you ask yourself this question: if you as an organisation are going to guarantee to pay £2,000 if you get 50 runners, the logic tells you must leave space for 50 runners minimum, because otherwise what you are saying is, although we're offering this guarantee, we're not going to give you a chance to get there. And that's the way it comes across to us poker players. We might be wrong, but that's how it looks on the face of it. And whilst I understand that at 8 o'clock when you're due to start, you might have only had 16 runners or 18 runners, then the sensible option is to delay the start by 15 minutes, because you know every week you are going to get them runners. Then of course, we asked if they'll open another table or 2. They won't do that. Apparently it's head office policy that they are not allowed to open other tables. Now, I don't blame the people that work there for not doing that then, if that's going to cost them their job or a severe rollicking. But you need to pass these comments from us and everyone else onto your head office and say what a load of shit that is, to be quite honest with you. Because if you've got 20 players waiting to play, right, and as happened last week, you managed to get 50 exactly with people dropping out, it cost you £1,000. If you let the other 20 people in, that's taking £400 off what you have to add to that tournament yourself as an organisation. At the end of the day, the opinion of the Grosvenor amongst the poker players is going downhill and downhill fast, and it is instances like this why this happens. Now, this isn't a platform to slag any organisation off. This is just merely to put out there what most people are thinking at the moment, and you need to rectify that and do something about that to get your players back, because otherwise you're going to be in the situation you're in now where nobody attends your tournaments. That's a piece of advice from me, the newsreader, about a place that I love. Sort yourselves out. And Team Dobbs loves it as well. We love playing there. It's our favourite place. But we cannot be doing with stuff like that. Any other casino in England would have opened 2 tables and there wouldn't have been a problem. So you need to sort something out. You need to pass these on to your head offices and get this sorted out, because it's a ridiculous situation. Anyway, moving on from that, the charity game that we harped on about for the 14th of November, we are going to announce now that has been cancelled and will be moved to next year. The reason for that is, me personally, I did not really understand how much work it would undertake to get this to be ready for the 14th. And I'll be quite honest with you about it, I'm a bit disappointed at the response that I've had from a lot of organisations and people that I have sent emails and letters to regarding stuff. And I don't think it's fair to do a half-cocked event. When we do it, we want it to be one to be remembered, and to be fair to the place that's going to let us host it, that they need to get something out of it as well. So that will be moved to next year. We'll let you know the date when we have the date spot on, but I promise you it will happen, and it will be well worth happening. It'll be well worth attending. It'll be a great event, but that's why we need to put it off, to make sure it is a great event. So bear with us for that. And on to the final bit of the news. Sorry, there's 2 bits left, but this, to me, is the main bit of the news this week. We can finally announce the date of the MPF 2nd Annual Championships. That will be the 31st of October and the 1st of November. 2-day event. We'll be starting in the afternoon on the Saturday. All the details will come up on here when we've got them finalised, but the date's finalised, the venue's finalised. Surprise, surprise, it's Circus. They looked after us very well last year. I'm sure they'll do the same this year. Look on the forum pretty soon. The whole structure and everything will be on there. We can tell you, for those that didn't play last year, it will be very, very similar. It will be a 10,000 chip starting stack and probably 45-minute blind levels. It will be a great, great event. Plenty of play in the event. And again, probably the same as last year. We'll ask you to pay in a bit earlier. But all the details will be on the forum once Scotty's got them finalised. So keep your eyes out on there. But it is the 31st of October. Keep that date free. We'll be doing the same as last year. We'll be doing a betting book, which me and Team Dobbs will run, do the odds. Portion of it will be donated to the charity as last year. The buy-in for the tournament, £50, plus Circus's reg fee, which I think will be £5. Plus we will ask everybody for £5 on the day to contribute to a raffle, which means everybody will walk away with some prize. Last year there were some great pictures. There was a signed Shearer picture. There was some stuff from Coy. There was some good stuff there last year. So keep the date free. And anybody out there that wants to donate anything for the raffle, let me, Scotty or Team Dobbs know. Drop us an email, let us know, bring it to a casino. We'll gladly take it off you and save it for the championship, and it'll be more than welcome. So remember that date. Who can dethrone Zenico this year? He's a bit pissed off at the moment because he's got to give his trophy back. We wanted to get the bracelet off him. He says you've got no chance. So apparently there will be some different trophies and prizes this year. But that trophy, the big one up there that Zenico is seen holding on his avatar, that's what it's all to play for, and that's on the 31st. So we'll see you all there. Right, we'll come on to one last little bit of news before we leave you. Last night, Jolly Miller game, as normal. Well attended, a good night. Mr. Cardguard popped out an hour later when he was donked off. But they've been running a league in there every 4 weeks. Top two get to play at the Circus game. Last night, heads up, Coit and his daughter Beth. Chip stacks, Coit 138,000 chips, Beth 1,500 chips. £130 for the winner, £80 for second. Beth asked her dad, do you want to do a split? He says, I don't think so, Pet. I've just spent £40 on 2 bottles of wine on you. He said, that'll make up for that. Blinds were 3,000, 6,000 with a 2,000 ante. So Beth's first hand couldn't even pay the ante. So, you know, anyway. So she chucks in her 1,500 and obviously she wins a hand. The next, she puts it all in, she wins. And all of a sudden, 12 hands later, she's won all 12 hands in a row. Coity's on the floor needing resuscitation because Beth's now the chip leader and Coity's begging her to do a deal and she says, sorry Dar, need chance. Anyway, so carry on and carry on and carry on, and in the end, unbelievably, from having 120,000 to 1 chip lead on his daughter, Coity loses the tournament. And this is a man that is supposed to be the best poker player in the Northern Hemisphere, who's supposed to be mentally strong. I don't know what to say. I think in the history of poker, no one will have ever have lost a lead like that. Some might say it's because it's his daughter. I think it's just because he's a rudge in his shit. So there you go. Right, on to the last bit, as normal, the question for this week. Mentioned the Leeds game earlier on. Some of you will have seen on the forum, I put a little post up about the sensational one, Stevie's Sensation, one of the crisps. Turned up at Leeds in some white linen trousers. Now when I say white linen, I mean bright white linen. Blind you type white linen trousers. You can tell they're linen because they were creased to fuck. So obviously, you know, that's the look I assume these days. Went in the casino with a hoodie like I've got on now, but in white. The man behind the desk says, I'm really sorry, no hoodies allowed in this casino, you'll have to take it off. So he takes it off, and lo and behold, underneath his white linen trousers, he has a jet black sleeveless vest. Armpit hair coming everywhere, hair all over the place, he looked a right clip. Right? However, it did prompt a comment from Farmer Dave to say he looks a little bit like George Michael from Wham. Cue all the Wham jokes, blah, 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 blah. So the question for this week is, Stevie Sensation in his white linen trousers and his black vest, did he look like George Michael or Andrew Ridgeley? You decide.
Wake me up before you go, 'cause I'm not planning on going solo. Wake me up before you go, take